back, everybody, to Miss Azrael's Gaming. So today we're going to jump into a demo called Strange Antiquities. And this is a game by the same devs, if you know about Strange Horticultural. It was a really, really good game. And so when I saw that they were coming out with a new one, I was super stoked and excited for it. If you have not seen Strange Horticulture, I play a person who identifies, who puts plants together, and I give people, medical plants and stuff for ailments, as well as identify plants. And if you're interested in it, I do have it in my a playlist of it on my channel here, and you can go back and check that one out if you're interested. Like if you see this one and you find this one really interesting and entertaining, you can check that one out as well. So let's go ahead and start a new game. Okay, so as a thaumaturge apprentice, there's a lot to learn. Every object must be treated with care, and it is important to identify the harmful from the harmless, the potent from the mild. It was only supposed to be a temporary arrangement when Eli left the shop, Strange Antiquities, in my hands. None of us knew that by then the pendulum was already swinging with a terrible certainty that could not be stopped. The ravens were an omen, a circling unkindness of black wings and cheerless cries that seemed, even then, to signal the start of a rising dread. Day 1, Thursday. Okay, the arrow keys or wads to navigate the shop. Ooh, I love this pendant. It's an Argus pendant. I love it. Oh, I love all this stuff. It's just so cool looking. And we have a kitty. We have a kitty again. Oh, it's so cute. It's got heterochromia eyes. I love it. Okay, so to start our first day, we're going to hit the bell like in the other game. Okay, I have been called away to assist in an urgent matter in Ravenglass and must leave at once. I'm leaving the shop in your care with some reluctance, I might add. Make use of my reference materials. Here, take this. Okay. Ooh, it's a book. Where am I supposed to put it somewhere? Okay, this is an index in the back, may be useful to you. If you doubt, study it carefully and remember that there are some powerful artifacts here. Under no circumstances should you seek entry to any locked doors, drawers, or cupboards. In fact, safest not to touch anything at all. I should be back in a few days. Okay. Okay, so here we have the thaumaturge, Eli White. Eli is a thaumaturge, a collector and a curator of powerful objects. Objects that can that to the untrained eye may appear dull and lifeless, but that in the right hands and armed with the right knowledge can be a gateway to so much more. For Eli, the quest to unearth and understand each new object has been the driving force of his adult life. As owner of Strange Antiquities, Eli is a stern master. He knows firsthand what can happen if the right precautions are not taken. He doesn't tend to show much emotion, but he does have a more tender side, a side that is mostly reserved for the store's cat, Jupiter. Okay, so, and then this goes back over his visits where you can read what he said. Let's look at Jupiter. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Devourer of souls, Jupiter. I love it. Jupiter is the thaumaturge's cat, or, more accurately, Eli is Jupiter's thaumaturge. Jupiter found strange antiquities, perhaps drawn to the curiosities within, and made it his home. Eli was more than happy to accommodate him, but he learned early on that Jupiter was his own master. His business is his own, but it largely consists of regular naps, terrorizing rodents, and midnight explorations of Undermere and beyond. What he does on his excursions is a mystery, but he seems to be well known among the town's residents. So we've got quite a few people here. Looks like about the same number that was in Strange Horticulture. Okay, let's go ahead and hit the bell and get our first person. Okay, congratulations. It's Thomas Pope. Oh, dude, sir, don't talk so fast. Today's the day you meet the great Thomas Pope. That's me. I'm a man of two loves, fresh mountain air and a little white dog called Hamish, but I reserve some room for laughter among friends and chops with cats in them. It would be so kind. You would be so kind. I'm looking for a replacement for my hunter's boon. Okay, so use the right mouse on items to inspect them. We're looking for a hunter's boon. You can move the cursor over different parts of the object to inspect it. Okay, so we have clay, a sense of touch, textured. Oh, this is neat. Scent and sound. I have nothing to remark. In perception, I have nothing to remark. Bronze. An uneven textured. Nothing to remark. I have nothing to remark. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're looking for a hunter's boon. And if I remember, can I look in the book? Please? There we go. Okay, Strange Artifacts, A Guide to Occult Objects by T.S. Gill. Oh my goodness, there's so many things just like the plants. So we are looking... Now, I won't read everything with this being the demo, but when the game fully comes out, I'll make sure that I read every single one of these. So we have Acumensil, Ares Remnant, Binding Seed, Ethereal Key, Eye of Chronos, Guise of Lillian, Hearing Charm, Heart Chamber, Horned Shackle, Hunter's Boon. Okay, here we go. A Hunter's Boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. They are made from trophies taken from slain beasts, with those from the deadliest predators being the most prized. They are simple items without embellishment. Okay, so we're looking for something that has been taken from an animal or a beast, monster maybe. And it's a very simple looking item. Okay. All right, what's this? This looks like a tooth. It gives me a sensation of power. It's yellow and brown. Smooth, but with hard ridges. Nothing remarkable. Just gives a sensation of power. Now what? Click to edit. Oh, you can, like, edit the tags and stuff. Change the shape. Put an icon on there. That's, okay, that's pretty cool. Won't deal with that right now. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. I thought at first it was bone, but it is in fact clay printed to look like bone. Hard but somewhat rough. I have nothing to remark on smell. So we know that that's not from an animal. Probably wouldn't be this because of the stone. A cheap metal or some kind of probably pewter, brown fabric of some sort, bone, yellowed and white. Hard and somewhat rough, a rough fabric, engraving detail. Nothing to mark. Perception. Nothing. I'm leaning towards this, what looks like it might be a tooth or a claw. It's hard to tell. What the hell is that? Iron gray metal flecked with dark red. It's not rust, it's blood. A substance flakes off and leaves marks on my fingertips. A raised detail. Nothing to remark. It has an energy about it. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards... Is this something? So there's a smell to it. Pungent. So that's a liquid. So he's looking for a replacement for a hunter's boon. I would say... Ooh, we even have locked up stuff there. I like how it moves when I move. I'm leaning towards this. Yellow and brown, it's a yellowy white color. Smooth, but with hard ridges. Smooth. No perception. I think it, I would do this one. So let's give him this. I think this is it. Identified. Hunter's Boon. A Hunter's Boon is a primitive item. They grant the power of the predator, enhancing perception and agility. Osaic ring. These somewhat macabre objects were originally made as an offering to the goddess Crochen, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they occasionally sought out for by their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say that they can hear Crochen's unearthly hiss when they hold an Osaic ring up to their ear. Okay, so you can add labels to items while inspecting using them. So like this, we can add it, and we can call this a hunter's boon. So that way, you know, it's not something that you forget. I like all the symbols, to be honest. They're kind of nifty looking. There we go. And then we can keep track of it. That's nice. Because in the plant one, I believe it labeled itself. So that's kind of neat. You can kind of, you know, label it. So let's go ahead and go to the next person. Jack Hungerford. The nights are drawing in again. Dark shadows hide dark deeds, or so my father always used to say. Seems like the shadows have grown darker since he passed 2 winters gone. A creeping dark has set up in my house. I'm not told a shadow hold will draw it out. Ooh, a shadow hold. Well, I have a feeling it's going to be something kind of dark looking. Let's go ahead and check the book. Let's go back to this. We're going to go ahead and look it up. Actually, I want to look at these. That's a neat picture. Very neat picture. Let's go ahead and just scroll through. Lamb's Siphon. Libula, Orford Spire, Osaic Ring, Restful Merthyr, Silink Totem, Sixtrum, Shadowhold. Okay, so a Shadowhold, or a Osadic vessel, is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an Osadic spirit. Cannot talk today, my goodness. The manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadows like poison from a wound. Which I believe is that thing we were looking at earlier. They are decorated with an elaborate design called a shadow catcher. So a shadow catcher design, it's kind of like Celtic knot, similar looking. Maybe like a cross here, because it doesn't show it completely. So we're going to take a look for that. That doesn't resemble it. Oh, that resembles it. This could as well. Raised detailing, bronze. I have nothing to remark. My heart feels lighter. Shadow hold will draw it out. Called a shadow catcher. It's more than likely it is this. Because the inner perception is my heart feels lighter. So if you're being overshadowed by darkness, this would probably be what is going to fix that for you. Oh, it's not? That wasn't the item I was looking for. I should slow down and think this through more carefully. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was. Plus, it resembled the picture, but maybe it is that. And I assume because it took out the darkness, but okay, maybe not. Cork and clay. Spongy. Hard and somewhat rough. These markings have been carved in. Now, see, I mean, this did resemble it as well, but I don't feel like it's in the same... It doesn't look the same. Because these are more down, like the cross pattern, it's more down with that. See, this is like the Celtic knot that was there. I mean, the Celtic knot also made sense because it makes you feel lighter, so that's why I kind of thought that. Ooh. Ooh, do we have secrets here like we did in the other one? Withered flesh and grim gold, polished wood. Leathery and bony, quite unpleasant to touch. Hard and cold, polished. I was expecting it to smell worse than it does. Nothing remarkable to say. Has an energy about it. I really thought it was that, but at least this is actually a little bit different than the plant one, because the minute you gave them something, they just took it, and if it was wrong, you'd find out the consequences of you being wrong. Excuse me, but yeah, I really thought it was that. I'm kind of surprised it's not that one. Shadow holder in a acidic vessel is a container. Oh, sometimes a jar or bottle or box. Oh my goodness. It is this one. And I know I read that, but apparently I wasn't paying really good attention to what I was reading, because I saw this instantly and just thought that's what it was. So it's this one. I'm so silly sometimes. Okay, a shadow hold. A shadow holder in a acidic vessel is a container of any kind, sometimes a jar or bottle or some sort of box. It can be used to contain an oceanic spirit, the manifestation known as creeping dark, pulling it from the shadow like poison from a wound. Okay, so sun bond. A sun bond is a small and lightweight designed to be carried discreetly, and made of some non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone or of light. They carry the warmth and the light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkness and gloom. Okay, there's also an auto-labeling option in the settings if adding labels by hand isn't your thing. Oh, okay. This was a shadow hold, right? Okay, let's hit the bell again. David Schaefer. What's with all these ravens flying outside Undermere today? I can't remember even seeing anything like it. Not a good day to be a sort who believes in dark omens. A letter for you. I was gonna say, he looks like the male guy in the first one. Okay, so we got a letter. We discovered some papers in a hidden desk drawer in the boatyard last night. Mr. Jones almost threw them in the fire pit, but I asked to take a look at them first. That man does like to burn things. They look old. Maybe there's nothing of much use here, but I thought of you when I came across an entry on the Shen. Charlie Weathers. Okay. Usually, can you put that in your archive? Aha, okay, you can. I was going to say you can do that in the other one. Okay, Julie Braddock. Ah, Jupiter, we meet again. Our paths crossed late last night on Prince Street. We shared a moment before he slunk off into the dark on important business, no doubt. I wonder if you can help me. I'm visiting my grandmother later, and I wanted to bring her something. She lives all alone on the edge of town, out on Clanbrook Road, and I don't always manage to get out there as often as I'd like. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. Okay, so a moon heart. That's probably some kind of like gemstone or something. Okay, so let's move back this way. We'll go ahead and pick it up from here. A moon heart. Ooh, it's not listed in here. Okay, so that means it might have a different name than a moon heart, because sometimes that happens. Curse, danger. So we have an index now. That's kind of nice. A gemstone. Life. Moon heart. I don't know exactly what... Here we go, moon heart. A Selenic totem. Okay, so a Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment or feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Gnostic disciplines. Yeah, I was right the first time. Indeed, the form of the item itself will often have a connection to either the moon or the night. Okay. And it looked like a tree, so I would assume... I wonder what this meter is. I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. Okay, so it's probably like every time you screw up, that's what gets affected. Okay, so let's look at this one. Would you have suspect? White paint. So we have a moon symbol. It looks like a tree. Rough and gnarled. I have nothing of remark. Perception. Nothing of remark. Okay, so let's double check this because I don't want to screw this up again. But see, it looks like the tree branch. There's a feelings of love and joy and held tightly to recall the same feeling. They sometimes feature crescent shapes associated with both the Selenic and Gnostic disciplines. Indeed, the form of itself will often have connections to either the moon or night. Okay, so there is a crescent moon there. Double check this. I don't see anything else that could... Okay, pearlescent blue. Now, I mean, this does remind me of the moon, but there's no symbol on it. Nothing remarkable. I don't like how this makes me feel. Well, that's definitely not it. I love the look of this one. I love it. It's an Argus eye. I notice a slight out-of-body feeling, like my hands belong to somebody else. Interesting. Okay, I think it's this one. Because that's the only thing here that has the moonstone on it. Okay, apparently it's not. Yep. Oh god, I'm getting really low. That's not good. I have a growing fear deep within me. I cannot let it take hold. Dang, man, because that's the only thing I see with the moon thing on it. This one's definitely a lot harder. Oh, is this plant something? Can I? Here, you want a plant? You can have a plant. Bronze. Oh my goodness, yeah. Like this is definitely, this is a lot harder. Because that item was literally the only thing that had a moon on it. Yeah, a moon heart. I thought maybe a moon heart would bring her some comfort. It's a carved totem. Can be imbued with a sentiment of feelings such as love or joy. Okay, well, let's see. Maybe this is carved. Like colored wood. Polished. I'm overcome by warm, loving emotion. Okay. Perhaps that's it. Nothing remarkable. I feel like that doesn't fit the way the tree did, but let's try it. That is it, okay? So identified, this is the Selenic totem. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with a sentiment of feeling, such as love or joy, and then held tightly to recall the same feeling. So the whole moon aspect was probably supposed to throw me off for that. So we have the Selenic totem. Okay, we got evocant. These stone items weigh the same as a man's heart according to a popular myth. The truth is a little less dramatic, but the weight of these items is never less important and should not stray more than a hair from precisely 1 pound. They are placed on a chest of these in a coma to draw them out. Okay, so for this one, it's a Selenic totem. Hopefully, I think I spelled that right. Hopefully. Excuse me. Okay, let's take the next customer. Okay, Edmund Bishop, and he's a main character. The behavior of these ravens is disturbing to say the least. As they rule, they only come together to feed. Ravens are omnivores, carrion eaters mostly, but they'll take anything they can get their talons on. And they'll kill if necessary. I didn't plan on dropping in today, but there's something happening out there, and I'd like to know what. A voice of Coronis might help put me at ease, or it might do the opposite. Okay, so let's see. We have the ornithologist. I think it'd be neat if they did a game on ornithology next, which is, the study of birds. So Edmund Bishop, the 14th Lord of Gleeston Castle, is a man of wealth and privilege like the 13th before him. He is a man who would be easy to despise as his father was, but he is well loved by those who know him. Now retired, he was a professor of ancient languages at the University of Cumbria, but his real passion is birds. His study learned to divert practically dense lectures on Latin declension by asking about local owl species or by quizzing the professor on increasingly exotic bird calls. Edmund was only too happy to oblige, spending hours recounting stories of his adventures in Africa and New Zealand. Okay, so he wants the voice of Coronins. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to this one. So we have Shimmer, Silent Breath, Sunbond, Voice of Coronis. The name of Coronis, Cernunnos, maybe it's Cernunnos, is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. With skills such as an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Cernunnos is a pagan god of the forest and nature, typically depicted as a man with the antlers of a stag and often wearing or holding a torque. Okay, I have to know this one because when I was younger, I went to a store all the time, and it was, oh goodness, I cannot remember the name of it. It might have been something like Sleepy Hollow She Fashions or something. It was a store in a mall when I was a teen, and they had this just amazing looking, like, Victorian. They had Viking jewelry. It was, like, really, really cool. And I have a lot of Viking torques. At least I did. I don't think I still have them anymore. They might be at my parents', but, it was just something that I did not take with me. But I do know what a torque is. And that would be this right here. So it's bronze. We have an uneven texture. Have nothing remarkable and nothing remarkable. Now, I'm going to double check, but that is a torque. And that's what they described as him. For the voice of Cernunnos, is that he is known for his torque. He's wearing it. Yep. Any bronze torque. So let's double check that it is bronze. It is bronze. This should be it. And if it's not right, I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so the voice of Crononis. The name voice of Crononis is used to refer to any bronze torque that has certain imbued properties. With skill, such an item can be used to read the patterns of nature that are otherwise hidden to us. Okay, so Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from Spirit Eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fear as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show. Another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps, a layer that requires something more than the traditional senses to experience. They draw their power from the imposing symbols inscribed upon them. Okay, so we are closed for the day. Now we need... Oh God, I'm never going to be able to spell this. It's voice of... it was a... Coronis? We're going to say voice of C, because I'm not going to spell that right. And I can't look it up at the same time, so... All right, so we're gonna pet Jupiter, and we're gonna end the day. Okay, end of day 1. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He knew he could not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. Ooh, this is different. Okay, an escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Now, in strange horticulture, we were given a map and we're given like special little clues to go to those places and find things. So I'm definitely excited to see that they brought that back in there. Okay, day 2, Friday. So an escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Okay, so is there a way, do we... Oh, I can put it there. But let's see if we, Oh, here's something. On thermic fields. All thermic objects produce a field of sorts. Although invisible to the naked eye, they can be observed by placing an object over a thermic lens. A Durnic field pattern. These fields are not fully understood despite attempts to study them over the years. Okay, reminder. I've stored a couple of items in the cellar of the wine merchant next door. EW. Oh. We have a piece here. But I don't know where it goes. There's our compass. Okay, so we can explore. And here's our map. Okay, so an escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Okay, so do we have a prison listed? The old jail, okay. Okay, so that's the only thing. So 10 is the old jail. There it is. Okay, old jail. So he hid me in the first building he came to. So he ran northwest. High Green Church. Museum of History. Wainwright Hospital. I would assume that it wouldn't count these. It's usually something here. Northwest might be more along the lines of the hospital. Could be here. First building he came to. Okay, let's try this one. Friday Museum of History. The Museum of History has a quiet grandeur lined with row upon row of trinkets and curiosities. It's not unlike strange antiquities in that regard, though I doubt there's much of use to me here. The curator ushers me away. Eli and I have an agreement. You know you're not to take anything from the museum. Okay, so that was not it. I don't know how often we can explore. Peeling paint and hollow corridors hum with echoes of hushed voices. The stench of death clings to the stale air, turning my stomach. I have no desire to linger. Okay, so it looks like we might be able to explore multiple places. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. Oh my god, I'm going northeast like a dummy. This is west. Oh my goodness. Strange horticulture. The curious plant shop on the edge of town is a quiet haven away from the bustle of the center. Ordinarily, I'd be delighted to while away some time here, but I have important work to do. And yet, an hour later, I find myself leaving the shop with a potted palace and a weight off my shoulders. I've been chatting with the proprietor about the similarities and differences between our two disciplines, with a gently purring hellebore curling up in my lap. Okay, so don't know if that's what we needed. Usually these disappear when we've done them. So I don't know if that was correct or not. This was a mistake. Oh, okay. Okay. Calm down. Okay, but it does look like we can travel a lot more than what we were able to. Okay, the scent of damp hay lingers in the air as crows pick at the muddy ground between weathered stone barns. The farmer lifts his gaze briefly, offering little more than a nod before turning back to his work. I don't think I'll find anything useful here. So an escape... Oops. Oh, darn it. I should not have come here. I accidentally clicked on that. An escaped prisoner ran northwest. He hid me in the first building he came to. Well, the only thing I see is the old jail. I don't see any other places it could be at. We might have to come back and try again, because I don't want to, like, waste all my time, just trying to figure this out. Especially because it's just a demo, be able to figure it out when the full game comes in. It's like I said, I don't think these other buildings, unless they're specified, are you supposed to, just show up to them. So, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to head out of there. Oh, we got something here. Oh, it's an item. Okay, well, let's put that there. It's like another item. It's like a bone totem. So we'll put that there. Alright, so let's go ahead and start. Oh, we got a pet Jupiter and start the day. Verona Green. Ah, well, that's just perfect. Undermere, fizzing with fear over these ravens, and the thermologist has left his apprentice in charge. Sorry, my dear, that was rude. Pay no attention to me. I'm an old lady who got out of bed on the wrong side this morning. These ravens have got under my skin is all. Please do let Eli know that I was looking for him next time you see him, and pass on my thanks for letting me borrow his copy of Hermetic Symbology. Okay. So she's brought the book back to us. Now, she was in the first game, so the occult scholar, Verona Green. Verona has been a constant in Undermere for as long as the streets have had cobblestones and the churches have been bell towers, or have had bell towers. She is respected and feared, which she revels in, and she is revered and admired, which she tolerates. Her knowledge of the occult world is second to none, and her expertise has steered the citizens of Undermere away from catastrophe on more than one occasion. The near misses of the Selenic flame and the Woken Dendru are two such events that spring to mind. She's of the opinion that no problem is so great, no obstacle so insurmountable, that it can't be diminished by a properly brewed pot of tea. Okay, next. Trish Sherwood. I feel paralyzed. I have no job, no partner, no friends, no prospects. I heard a horned shackle might be the answer. Okay, so we are looking for a horned shackle. Let's look at a Zia. Okay, so there's nothing on Zia. All right, so a horned shackle. Okay, so horned shackle. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. In use, the horns are rubbed between one's fingers, causing them to become worn smooth over the years. So an example of an elaborate horned shackle. So we were looking for something that has horns on it, which could be this, could be that. So let's, although this probably isn't because these are not smooth. Yeah, they're rigid, smooth. The skull's smooth, but the horns are rubbed. I have a strong sense of being watched. Okay, so that's probably definitely not what she would want. It fills me with a sense of foreboding. Hard and somewhat rough. Okay, so that's definitely not it. Hard and somewhat rough. Nothing remarkable. Okay, well that's not... They're supposed to be smooth. Hard and somewhat rough. Oh. Ooh, interesting. Worn smooth over the years. My guess would be this one. Because it does seem to be a necklace. It's probably not this one. Although that was said as an... Maybe it is this one. Maybe the animal head has something to do with it. Okay, we'll try this one. That's not it. Then I'm gonna go with this one, which was my first guess. And that's not it. Ooh, I'm in bad shape right now. Shoot, man. Can't be this, can it? I thought at first it was bone, but is in fact clay printed to look like bone. Hard and somewhat rough, cool and smooth. Fills me with a sense of foreboding. Huh. Smooth. Pointy. Now let's try it. That was it. Okay, the horned shackled. Horned shackles are used to bring about change in one's life, bestowing the ability to overcome personal demons. Okay, vestiger. A vestiger can be used to prevent the spread of disease and pestilence. Among other oddities, flames burn pale blue in their presence. Alright, so let's take on the next person. At least the weather's looking a bit better out there today. Oh, he's got another letter for us. Good day. You might be interested to hear that my plow overturned a strange-looking object yesterday. Come to the farm and it's yours, for the right price, of course. Kind regards, John Royston. Oh, okay. Can we go now? The scent of damp hay lingers in the air, and crows picked up a muddy ground between weathered stones. The farmer lifts his gaze briefly, offering more than a nod before turning back his word. Oh. Is there another farm? Maybe there's another farm. Oh, Royston, 30. Stupid. John grins as I struggle to hide my obvious interest in the item he shows me. Any hope that he might not be fully aware of his value quickly evaporates, and after a lengthy negotiation, I reluctantly hand over the amount he originally asked for. Okay, so we discovered the item. Ooh, that's cool looking. It's like a raven totem. I don't even know if that does anything there. Okay, so let's put that there. And we'll put this here. I want an Ositic ring. Osiric. There's a pleasing word to hold on the tongue. Okay, so that was the one that we had just learned about. That was one of the first things we got. Okay, so these are somewhat macabre objects, were originally made as an offering to the goddess Crochen, but the practice fell out of favor as belief waned. They are hard to come across now, but they are occasionally sought out for their ability to keep vermin at bay. Some say they can hear the Crochen unearthly hiss when they hold an Osiric ring up to their ear. Okay, so, I mean, like, none of these honestly even stick out. So we need to listen for, like, a hiss. Nothing remarkable. Nothing remarkable. Every sound has become both louder and clearer. Nothing. A soft sound like a serpent whispers innates from within. So this is probably it. Okay, so the Osiric ring. Holgen Grimm. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holger in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolf Song's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. Okay, so it's a Osiric ring. That's probably not how it's spelled, but I'll go with it right now. Daisy Winters. A friend of mine, or former friend, I should say, has been stealing jewelry from me. 3 necklaces have gone missing over the past few weeks, including one that was a gift from my late grandmother. Do you have a suitable pendant that I could leave lying out for her to find that will teach her a lesson and make her sure it never happens again? Okay, so I will need to make a choice here. There are no wrong answers, but my decision will no doubt affect the events in motion outside my shop. So a binding seed or a Zia? So a Zia, worn about the neck to place them closer to the heart. These innocent-looking items instill a sense of fear and paranoia. They can be difficult to remove. Zias are made of any single material except wood or clay. They typically have no symbol or other writing upon their surface. And then the binding seed. These items are made of two distinct materials representing the mentic and the wexic, the mind and the body. The winding path, the mind, is described by a spiral encompassing the body, the seed. A binding seed is a form of punishment that amplifies feelings of guilt and shame. The Yew Labyrinth at Castle Morgan, a larger-than-life binding seed. All right, so I think I'm going to go with the binding seeds because I'm still confused about this one. But the binding seed talks about a spiral wrapped around the body, right? And you feel guilt and shame. This one fits the description perfectly. It's made out of two materials, stone and wood. And then I don't like how this makes me feel. So it's kind of like a negative feeling. So I'm going to go with this one for the binding seed. Okay, identified. It is a binding seed. Okay, shield charm. Generic charms of protection have little to offer the skill Thaumaturge, but can have some small effect. An acidic spirit or a wandering shroud will not abide them, for example. Such charms make use of the art of symbology, an ancient and some would say primitive component of thermology. They can be made from a variety of materials, though rarely precious metals. Okay, so it's not made out of precious metals like gold or, something like that. Excuse me. Okay, they found a man just now in the house where all them ravens were. So this is Emmett Burrows. I wish I hadn't seen it, but I did. He was sheet white, but it was his eyes that were going to give me nightmares. All black they were. It was like he weren't there anymore. I don't need to wait around for another sign. I'm taking my family to Schildberg. I'll be there. I'll be taking a Libula to see us safely through. Okay, so Libula. Libuli are purported to offer reassurance in times of upheaval and change, but they are not held in high regard by most scholars of the occult. That being said, an imbuement of wisdom shows that a Libula is not merely decorative. There is a power in symbology, as the old Thaumaturge knew well. Okay, so the only thing that really has like a symbol is like this. Maybe here. So now we have the symbology book back. Okay, let's see if there's... We gotta go back this way. Okay, so this one is kind of like a swirl, but with a circle and a dot in the center of the circle. Wait, there's that spirituality. Looks similar to that rebirth, depending on which way the spiral goes. Nothing to remark. Hard and cool. Red paint or perhaps blood, and it's a stone. I don't want to get this right because I've already gotten so many wrong today. There's a slight out-of-body feeling like my hands belong to somebody else. I don't think that's that one. Foreign symbology. That would be summer. Antimony. The only one that really sticks out for that is this one. There are 3 branches of thermatory. Each of these is split into 2 disciplines represented by the following symbols. Eat. Spirituality, I think. I'm not sure on this one. Yeah, this one's a hard one. Nope, wrong button. I don't think there's any symbol like that. Wisdom. It might be this. The ambient of wisdom shows that the burrow is not merely decorative. Okay, I guess let's go with this one. Alright, we're correct. Okay, Witch's Finger. Witch's fingers are said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They're capable of inflicting intense pain, but the goal is supposedly purification of the body, an unpleasant experience but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Okay, and that is the end of the day. I still haven't figured out where this one is. have to try that again at some point. Okay, we're going to end today. All right, and that's the end of the demo. So it says, thank you for playing the Strange Antiquities demo. There's a lot more to uncover in the full version of the game, more gameplay elements to discover that we won't spoil for you here, more secrets to unearth, and a sinister plot involving ancient deities, dark articles, and meddlesome priests that will lead to one of several unique endings. Alright, everyone, so I hope you enjoyed Strange Antiquities as much as I did. Definitely got a little confused on some of those things. It's a lot more in depth figuring out what the things are compared to the one where you had to look at the plants, because like at the plants, they would give you like kind of like a picture usually, and you would have to kind of look at the plants and decide which one looked as close to the picture or as close of the description that there was. This one, it kind of leaves a little bit more up for interpretation, which I kind of like. Because there's quite a few things at times where it seemed like there was like maybe 2 or 3 items could have been what we were looking for. But I really hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you enjoyed this and you would like to see Strange Horticulture, check out my channel. I have the full game up. I only did one playthrough of it, so there's only one ending. But I really, really enjoyed that game just as much as I enjoyed this one. So please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.